This is Dottie Norris, and sadly, it's the only time we get to see her before she's put in the ground midway through episode 4 of Landman. This episode was named Dancing Rainbows after her, but we'll get there. A one-word review? Necessary. We've had more aimless drama through 3 episodes than some fans of this show want. Yeah, I'm one of them, and I did a full video about it last week. We simply needed an episode that grounded us in a more relatable story of love and loss, and from the start, episode 4 did just that. Agree? Let me know below. As always, it's a conversation. This video promises the full tragic story of Dottie's life and death, including the devastating detail that Tommy shared at the very end. If you tapped out early, you missed it.
Well, the loss broke her, and it just snapped her in two.
Gosh, that hit hard. As we predicted, Cooper and Ariana have come to an agreement after she tagged along for a 7-hour drive and a funeral. Rebecca found love? Plus, Cami took a meeting with Dan Morrell in which she asks him for a $350 million loan.
I'd like to help you, but I can't negotiate with you. Not because you're a woman. You're not a snake.
Y'all, I cannot figure out this man's motivations for the life of me, but I do really lean in every time he's on screen. Subscribers know that we don't waste your time with these videos, so I'm going to start right in with Tommy's mom and dad. But along the way, look for little Easter eggs about life in North Texas, plus one really heartwarming tribute. Tommy, Angela, Ainsley, Dale, and Nathan all drive to Canadian Texas. That's a very small town, about 100 miles northeast of Amarillo. It's where Tommy grew up, and it turns out it's where his mother is to be buried. The actual funeral was uneventful.
Mr. Norris, is there anything you'd like to say?
Not to you.
It's not to me, it's to God.
God already knows it.
Afterward, they have lunch at The Bucket, which is a real restaurant in Canadian Texas. Kinda wanted one of those corn dogs that TL talks about, and I think that was the point. I believe that by using this restaurant in this Texas town, Taylor Sheridan was trying to make a much larger point. Something TL said really lines up with recent history, but I'm going to hold off on that until the end of this video, because things quickly got sideways when Ariana says,
"How come nobody's talking about her? She was your mother, right?"
This part here is relatable. Who else has been to a funeral where the goal is to get home without fighting? I know I have. I literally felt anger at Ariana for fishing for emotions. Of course, Tommy took the bait.
I remember coming home from school and finding her naked, face down in the bathtub.
He called 911 and administered CPR, and when she came to, she kicked Tommy in the face, and then she went and poured a drink. Tommy was just 14 at this point, and he'd had enough.
I went and put everything I owned into a backpack because a backpack's all it took. Never been back in this town since.
I mistakenly thought Tommy's mom suffered from dementia or some undiagnosed mental health issue caused by a chemical imbalance, but that's not the case at all. In fact, TL said as much during episode 2, but I guess I wasn't listening.
It's a disease, for some people. For her.
It's a disease for some people. He's talking about addiction. Tommy's mom was addicted to drugs and alcohol, and TL more or less abandoned her. After Tommy storms out of the diner, TL shares more.
I could tell you what killed her so, but it don't really matter now, I guess.
He actually doesn't divulge what happened there. Instead, he remembers a time when she was 17 and she went dancing through the sprinklers on a football field. The sun had cast rainbows in the sprinklers, hence the name of this episode, Dancing Rainbows.
But demons run faster than rainbows, and hers caught up to her.
At the very end, he looks right at Cooper when he says he's wasted his whole life hoping that she'd get healthy. Put a pin in that, because we're actually going to jump ahead to the very end for a final detail that explains everything. It's when Ainsley is crying because she's angry about how mad her grandmother was to her father, but Tommy explains that she too was suffering.
I had a sister. She died from SIDS at 4 months old.
The loss broke her, Tommy says. It just snapped her in two. Dottie was afraid to love after that, so she took drugs and alcohol to drown her emotions. It's not a justification, but it is an explanation. I think we all know someone who's gone through something similar. And once again, we see a tie between Season 2 of Landman and Season 2 of Yellowstone. Remember, the title of Episode 2 hat-tipped this flashback scene between John Dutton and his father, played by Dabney Coleman, and it was during that scene we learned John had a little brother, whose name we'd find out later was Peter. Peter's death was equally devastating, and it shaped John's worldview. I suppose a cynic could say that Taylor Sheridan is just writing the same scripts again and again, but I don't know. I actually think these little call-outs are poetic and generous. Each one is a little nod to fans who have been with him since the start. Like John Sr., TL is now going to come live with his son because, at Angela's suggestion, Tommy extends the invite.
Listen, Pop, I'm not going to try too hard at this. If you want to stay out here and die, fine. Or you can come with me and watch the sun all damn day long.
I mean, when you put it like that. My Dutton Rules podcast co-host Addison Hager and I have talked a lot about how Cooper and Ariana's relationship is a nod to Casey and Monica from Yellowstone. If you're a big fan of Landman, you may want to join us here on Tuesdays for that live conversation. Their love story picks up early in episode 4 when he drops by to get his sports jacket. She decides to go with him to the funeral and indicates that she's open to a reunion.
Hasn't occurred to you to come up with another option, has it?
Yep, I'm with Cooper on this one. Just say the thing you mean, girl. But I guess that's not how life works.
You don't even know what game you're playing, do you?
Grandpa seems to know what's up, and the whole experience allows this couples a chance to get to know each other better. So, by the end, she's inviting him into his house.
I didn't ask you to jump in my bed. I asked if you would like to come inside.
Spoiler alert, that invite is coming soon.
I'm sorry. Struggle and got rich. I won't let it happen again.
You're on real thin ice, Flaco.
I know.
I think the reason I like Cooper and Ariana so much more than Casey and Monica is that Jacob Laughlin and Paulina Chavez are better actors than Luke Grimes and Kelsey Asbill. Sure, by season 5 they came around, but Paulina, she's especially good. She does subtle very well and adds a bright light to any scene that she's in. So too does Kayla Wallace, who plays Rebecca Falcone, and thank God we finally got to see her chill the F out. That included a terrifying flight, a cute British guy, and a thermos full of vodka and watermelon juice. That leads to this. Good for her letting her hair down a little bit.
Look, it's too early and I'm too hungover for you to be charming.
Charlie is actor Guy Burnett, who you may recall as George Eltonton in the movie Oppenheimer, and we're going to see more of him. Before season 2 began, we got this photo of Charlie, Rebecca, Tommy, and Cami. It's from episode 8. There's a whole bunch of really good songs used in episode 4, and at the end I'll share a soundtrack. We got a brief update on the victims of last week's gas leak, and everyone seems to be okay except for Jarrell, who might be going blind.
Doctor! Jarrell, I'm gonna go get him. Me, doctor!
Right now I want to talk about Cami, starting with this moment, because y'all, Pappy Van Winkle costs anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 or more a bottle, and she just poured it out in front of her husband's grave. Criminal. From there, she decides she's selling her house and will get real-life realtor Martha Williams of Williams True to sell it. Are these people paying for this kind of ad placement? Eventually, she takes a meeting with Dan Morrell, a.k.a. cartel boss Galino, where she asks for $350 million to help build that well that they owe the insurance company.
Isn't this something that Tommy should be negotiating?
Well, it's my company. I should be negotiating it.
Dan makes a whole speech about snakes and hawks at this point that admittedly, I didn't really understand. The preview makes it look like he's trying to drive a wedge between Cami and Tommy, but it now seems like he wants something else.
Don't you worry about a thing. The answer is yes. I'll let the snakes figure out the rest.
I'm not certain, but I think he's trying to leverage his relationship with Tommy a little bit more for unknown reasons. Any guesses? I guess I can't figure out why he seems to be targeting Tommy and not the actual owner of an oil company, but time will tell. I do love how both Andy Garcia and Demi Moore are getting a ton of screen time during season 2. Both have elevated this show and kept me tuned in through some of the nonsense. Honestly, the cast and acting this season has been tremendous. And I'm loving those small town shoutouts, which brings me back to Canadian Texas, where Tommy grew up. Did you hear what TL said about his home?
Fire took my home.
Your house burned?
Whole panhandle burned.
On February 26th of last year, a wildfire did destroy over 1 million acres in the Panhandle in Oklahoma and included 30 homes in Canadian Texas. It was the Smokehouse Creek Fire, and it was devastating, the largest in Texas history. Anyone else think that Taylor might have been trying to play it forward by calling out the bucket in this entire area? Pretty cool thing to do in my opinion, but fans of this show know that he's a big supporter of all things Texas. Specifically in this episode, he used San Benito, Texas native Charlie Crockett's song, Hard Luck and Circumstances, as Rebecca is getting drunk during takeoff, and then East Texas native Whiskey Myers' song, Time Bomb, as she's landing. Elsewhere, Red Clay Stray's Stop Wasting Time is used to transition from Tommy's reaction to Angela's suggestion that TL live with them and Rebecca waking up in Charlie's bed. Georgia Satellite's Keep Your Hands to Yourself plays at the beginning when an MTEX truck hits a parked truck at a drill site, and Christopher Cross's Sailing is the yacht rock song used during the car ride to Canadian when Nathan decides not to speak his mind once again. I mean, that's got to change soon, right? I'm Billy Dukes for Taste of Country. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing.